NFL season kicks off Thursday night with the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs hosting the up-and-coming Detroit Lions. The only time Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff faced off in a game against each other, they combined for just 105 points on Monday Night Football back in 2018. Sunday Night Football, familiar foes. That's the Cowboys traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants, two teams that made the playoffs last season. And MetLife will be the place to be for Week 1 because on the very next night, the season debut of Monday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers makes his New York Jets debut playing a home game at MetLife Stadium when the Jets play host to the Buffalo Bills. Here's our crew. You know them already. Marcus Spears, Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, Field Yates. Just a terrible way to start off in Week 1, huh? Nothing exciting about those three games.
The Kansas City, Detroit, I'm fired up for. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Monday Night Football versus a division rival. Cannot wait to watch those two games.
Yeah. Buffalo, New York Jets, man. Listen, there will be debates about who's the best quarterback in the division. We're talking about two defenses that we expect to be really good. A young team fighting to get to where Buffalo was and where we think they are. So I'm excited about that more than anything.
Cowboys-Giants does intrigue me because I think it's going to be a benchmark game for both teams from the beginning. The Cowboys appear to be stacked. Are they playing up to that? And the Giants, can they actually compete with the other powerhouses in the NFC? We'll find out.
Here's the full Week 1 schedule. Again, we mentioned the 3 games in prime time. It starts with Lions at Chiefs, ends with Bills at Jets. Here's everything else in between. I am already so excited for 16 games of football in Week 1. Anything stand out to you right there, Mina?
Dolphins-Chargers, y'all. That was a very fascinating game when they met last time. Two quarterbacks who are often linked together in Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert because of the fact that they were in the same draft class. I think two teams that a lot of us expect to be very, very competitive in the AFC.
Two quarterbacks that have massive pressure this year.
Yeah.
Green Bay at Chicago, 4:30 on a Sunday afternoon. Jordan Love's first real start as the guy for Green Bay. Justin Fields has got a ton of support finally. Fired up to watch that one.
I think that Pittsburgh 49ers game is going to be really interesting.
Physical, right?
Physical, quarterback questions in San Francisco. Who will be the starter? Who will walk out there for the 49ers? Kenny Pickett got some help this year on that offensive side of the football. Will the Steelers take a leap this year as well?
Time for us to welcome in our guy, Adam Schefter, the man who actually knew the entire schedule 3 weeks ago. He just kept it to himself per company policy. Schefter, if you wouldn't mind, take us through the biggest headlines that we need to know about the schedules that were just released to everybody besides you.
Well, Field, it's always about holiday games, so we'll start with Thanksgiving right now and look at the triple header that we'll be feasting on Thanksgiving Day. It'll start with the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions in the early window before we get the Commanders at the Cowboys in the middle window, followed by the 49ers at the Seahawks that night, and for the first time, we'll get the Black Friday game, first ever Black Friday game. No surprise, Aaron Rodgers featured there as he is throughout the course of the schedule. Now let's go to Christmas Day, because it's never too soon to start looking ahead to Christmas. We've got the Raiders at the Chiefs early on. Then we've got the Giants at the Eagles, a short trip for the Giants to make down the Jersey Turnpike there, before once again we get the 49ers in the nightcap. The Ravens at the 49ers in a game on ABC. And then, of course, we have the international games this year. Let's not leave them out of the equation. On ESPN Plus, we've got the Jaguars and the Falcons starting out in Week 4. Week 5, Jaguars-Bills. Jaguars, first team ever to have back-to-back games in London before we get the Ravens. And then the Titans the next week in an international game. Some of the international flavor that we get right there. Dolphins, Chiefs, the Tyreek Hill reunion game in Germany. And then in Week 10, we get the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots also in Germany. There's your international schedule starting out with the Falcons and Jags on ESPN Plus, Field.
5 games right there on the international slate. Shefty, great stuff. Don't go too far. We have plenty more for you or from you coming throughout the show. And how about this? Hot off the presses, we have our Monday Night Football schedule. Cue that wonderful music, and no better person to talk about the Monday Night Football schedule with than the voice of Monday Night Football, Joe Buck. And Joe, it's great to have you here on the show. It was great to catch up with you earlier on NFL Live as well. We're going to try to run through the Monday Night Football slate kind of month by month. So we'll start in September. You take a look at the 5 matchups that we have, as we have 2 double headers on Monday Night Football, but no game stands out more than the opener. What a draw for you and Troy. Aaron Rodgers' first game as a Jet. What are you looking forward to in that one?
I'm just looking forward to being there and seeing it firsthand. You know, I think when you assess how the games were handed out, I guarantee you that every network lined up to get that game. After Aaron Rodgers spent 18 great years in Green Bay, he won a Super Bowl there, he's a 4-time MVP, and you only get him debuting in another uniform one time, and we get to see it and show it on Monday Night Football. And oh, by the way, it's against the Buffalo Bills. They could play a high school team, and it would be compelling to watch just Aaron Rodgers in a different uniform, but they're playing Buffalo right out of the gate, and it's just the best possible way that we can start our Monday night schedule with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Joe, we're going through these months, man, and I could listen to you talk about Aaron Rodgers forever because I just got excited about you and Troy's call. But I want to focus in on this October game between the 49ers and the Vikings. The Vikings seem like a unknown. We know a really good offense can be electric and explosive against a vaunted defense of the San Francisco 49ers. What are you and Troy looking forward to in that one, in this matchup?
Well, I think you talked about it a minute ago, and that's how the 49ers get out of the gate and who's at quarterback and how healthy is Purdy. I do believe I was around a lot of the 49ers about a month ago in a vacation spot in Mexico. It rhymes with Yabo. And they firmly believe, as they have said publicly, if Brock Purdy was okay in that game against Philly, they win. So let's see how he is health-wise. And then I think the Vikings are a sneaky team. I think that's a good matchup for us as we look at the schedule now. I mean, there's so much balance in the NFL right now, and there's so many young stars and stars at the quarterback position that you really can't miss. But that's why the NFL is the envy of all the other major sports leagues, because of what we get to see with this schedule release day. It's just like, oh, there's a good one, there's a good one, there's a good one. And I think the Vikings and the 49ers is a sneaky good game.
Joe, I'm assuming that city that you visited that rhymes with Yabo might be a good place for a future Monday Night Football game. I'm not saying, I'm just putting that out there. We can manifest these sorts of things.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I hope people are listening to this right now. No pressure on NFL. Let's take a look at our November slate. And there you see the 4 games we played on Monday Night Football. In November, you see the Super Bowl rematch in Week 11, as announced earlier today on NFL Live. Dan, I mean, what a slate this is, but what game sticks out to you?
Yeah, Joe, when you were in Yabo, I was in New Jersey. How about the Super Bowl rematch? Philadelphia versus Kansas City, 3rd week in November. What are you excited for that one?
I mean, that was the other game that everybody wanted. And it's like, hey, that one is under the tree too. So to get those 2 games is just fantastic. And I mean, it was a 38-35 Super Bowl, and it's Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. I mean, that's the cream of the crop at the quarterback position. So much other talent, obviously, that guy and that guy, and the defense, and Philly with all the turnover on defense, but still loaded. I can't wait to watch that one unfold. Hopefully it's another one of those games where you just feel like the last team that has the ball is going to win the game.
Yeah, let me squeeze one more in here. The week before, it's Denver at Buffalo. I feel like the elephant in the room almost every week this year is going to be Russell. Kind of how excited is that one going to be on the road in Buffalo, crazy environment?
Yeah, I mean, the elephant is being coached by Sean Payton, and I'll bet on Sean Payton getting this thing right and getting him right and getting the offense right. So, you know, Denver was all over the primetime schedule for every network last year, and we know how that went. I'm excited about Denver to see where they are at that point. Either way, they're a compelling story, but with Sean Payton as head coach and Russell Wilson as his quarterback and what they have on the outside, the receiver position, I'm looking forward to that game too.
So we started strong with the Monday Night Football schedule in September, opening with the Jets and the Bills, played at MetLife. And we finished strong with a really compelling December as well. We've got, look at that, 6 games on the Monday Night Football slate in this month of December, and that includes a Week 14 doubleheader. A lot of games to choose from right there, Mina. But maybe what stands out to you?
Well, it's a team we spent a lot of this offseason talking about, the Baltimore Ravens, not just the contract drama with Lamar Jackson, but also a lot of the changes in this offense, completely revamping their wide receiver group, ranging from adding Odell Beckham Jr. to drafting Zay Flowers, and also hiring a new offensive coordinator in Todd Monken. So, Joe, Week 16, they're going up against the San Francisco 49ers, which ought to be one of the best defenses in football, almost always is. How excited are you to watch what should be a pretty different Lamar Jackson-led offense from the ones you've seen in recent years?
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of that's the question going in for the Ravens is what does that offense look like and how does it unfold with Greg Roman no longer there? And that intricate running system that he has at his disposal. And now Lamar, they got the deal done. He can get in there. He can get to work. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out with different tutelage, so to speak. But, I mean, that month is loaded with great games. Yeah. And you pick out one, we get to spend our Christmas in Santa Clara. But, I mean, even the way that our season ends with Detroit and Dallas could be a really compelling game the next week. And then we don't know what Week 18 brings. That's, as I lose my earpiece, better than my hairpiece. That is a better game than I guess Week 18 we don't know. But
Joe, where you get that hair?
I do have hair transplants.
I was about to say, where you get that hairpiece from?
Yeah, you looking for one?
I need your man. I need your man, Joe Buck. I need your guy. Send me his number.
Let me tell you, this is no hairpiece. This is no hairpiece, my friend. This is hours of pain and torture.
Okay.
It makes me look so much younger than I actually am.
It looks great. You ain't got the money.
It's worth all that.
Basically,
pain
that's what he
and
just
torture.
said.
That much is for sure. There are some changes.
And Orlovsky,
and
I see your hair, and I hate and Field.
Yeah.
I don't like either one of you two because of your hair. Okay, I love and respect you. I love and respect you. But there's something right out of the gate that I'm like, no, the hair's too good.
Listen, I can cut a little off. We could trade, I'll make a deal with you.
How about that? Yeah, for a trip to Yabo,
All right,
I'll
let's
take
make
some.
a
I'll
deal.
give you
Call
some
my
hair.
people.
A trip to Yabo.
Some highlights and changes for the Monday Night Football schedule this year that are certainly important. Joe referenced Week 18. We're going to have a Week 18 Saturday doubleheader for the 3rd straight year. That's going to be announced after Week 17. There's some playoff implications there. And new for the first time, Monday Night Football. There is Week 18 Saturday doubleheader. You see that. Plus, flex scheduling beginning in Week 12. So potential dud games out the window now. And looking ahead to the postseason, there will be a divisional playoff game on ESPN and ABC, in addition, of course, to the wild card game. And this should be a wonderful season. Can't wait to have you back on your 2nd year at ESPN, Joe, along with Troy. We look forward to you guys every single Monday night. We appreciate you joining us here on the show.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.